Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Newbie Anime What Ifs, but you can call me Noob. And today I'm gonna be doing What If Naruto was raised in the Sand Village, part 5, I wanna say. Let me just check really quick. Yeah, part 5. Okay. So, as you can see, I've been gone for 5 days. 2 of those days I was supposed to upload. So the last video I uploaded was about 5 days ago. Well, if not, it was raised in the Mist Village. So the day after that was my break, right? Then after my break, January 20th, after I got back from school, I was just really tired, so I went to sleep most of the day, so I didn't upload any video. Then the day after that was my other break. Then yesterday I was going to upload, but as I was writing the script, I was writing the chapter, right? I was trying to finish both chapters before 8. Well, I started at like 5 and I tried to finish both chapters before 8 so I could record and upload them before like 12 or something. But that didn't end up happening, and I wasn't able to finish them before 8. So I'm just gonna upload them today. So I missed 2 upload schedules. So I missed 2 days, and yeah, that means I have to upload 2 videos, right? Yeah. So if I'm thinking correctly, hang on. So last video I posted, Mist Village, on January 18th, 19th, my day off. 20th, I upload. 21st, day off. 22nd, upload. So today's supposed to be my day off, so tomorrow you'll also be getting a new video. Yeah, tomorrow you'll be getting a new video as well. Yeah, I'm gonna upload this video, then expect the next part of the Mist Village whatever to upload after this one. I don't know how much after, but just after this one. And I think that's it. If you hear any background noise, that's either my mic being weird, or someone entering my room, or my mom coughing. One of the two. I can't count one of the 3. And if you couldn't tell out already, the person winning is me. But yeah, no, that out of the way, let's just get back into it. What if Naruto was raised in the Sand Village? Chapter 6, The False Alliance. After Kuma leaves the village, the quartet immediately starts telling Rasa about the fight with Orochimaru, how he was out of the league, and how Kuma had the same chakra and all of that. But before they can really get into it and what happened, Rasa makes them stop with a hand gesture and proceeds to say, "Listen, I know that the Orochimaru. He was a candidate for becoming the fourth Hokage, and I've been around him can't speak. And I've been around him long enough and heard about him to know his chakra presence. So while you guys weren't here, he was saying some things. And the baseline of what he said was that he wanted the Sand Village to team up with a village that he created called Sound, and he wants us to take down the leaf and kill the third Hokage using Sarutobi. The 4 other speedsters like Noob. How come we haven't drunken water yet? Nice transition. Anyways, the 4 just speedsters team up with the Sand. Kankuro says, created his own village. Tamari says, take on the leaf. Gaara says, kill the third Hokage. Naruto says, so considering the Sand and the leaf are on good terms now, the fact Minato is my brother-in-law, and that the son of the previous Hokage is my son, it's safe for you guys to assume that I won't take his offer. Well, kind of. They all get confused. What I mean is, Wasa tries to clarify. I'm going to tell him that we'll take his offer, but he won't know that I'll double cross him and team up with the leaf. Can't speak. But little did anyone know, Dosu was outside listening in and was about to go report this to Orochimaru, but Yasumaru caught him and killed him. Watson went on with his explanation and ended up telling them that he will be informing Hiruzen and that he'll have the four of them and some other special ninja from the sand who live in the leaf for the next month to get used to the layout, find any traps or seals, place counter traps and seals, and things like that. The special ninja are going to be a surprise. Yeah, I'd say are going to be a surprise. They agree, but Naruto doesn't like the idea of possibly seeing Sasuke all the time. So the quartet go back to the leaf and they do exactly that. Train, scout out the areas, and all that stuff. While Yasumaru tells Hiruzen about Orochimaru and gives him a scroll about Wata's plan. After reading it, he agrees to help the sand out and places seals everywhere, basically. So after a week or so of the quartet staying in the leaf, they decide to go to the hot springs to cool off and stuff. And that's where they see a man peeping on women. When the boys are about to react, they can just feel the bloodlust radiating off of Tamari. So they decide to let her handle it. As he is about to end this man's whole career, she notices that the guy is actually Jiraiya the Toad Sonic. She knows this due to Wasa mentioning something about the Sonic. She still beats him up though. After he has recovered, he boasts about being the amazing Sonic he is, but they really don't care. But when he mentions training, they perk up a bit. He asks them to state a quick summary of their abilities, and when they explain it to him, he falls over due to the wildness that is the Sand Siblings. He gets back up and asks them about the Rasengan, but Naruto knows that too. At this point, Jiraiya is about to give up, but he does remember something and leads them to a cliff. He then pushes all four of them down to see how they come back up. Naruto and Gaara immediately use their sand so they can land on something. They then fly up and all of them simultaneously yell, "Why the hell would you do that?" You could have used the summoning jutsu for that, to escape the hole, but you didn't. Why? They all look confused and then Jiraiya explains and teaches them the summoning jutsu. Jiraiya then has them try it, and Naruto can summon Gamabunta first try, but the other three can't summon anything. Then Jiraiya gives them 3 other scrolls that were meant for another 3 kids, but he couldn't give it to them in time. This is going to be referenced. This part right here, it's going to be referenced like so far ahead of time, maybe even a year from now. I don't even know. But just keep in mind, the 3 scrolls Jiraiya gives to Gaara, Tamari, and Kankuro was saved for another trio from a foreign village, but he couldn't give it to them in time. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Anyway, Tamari then summons a weasel named Kamatari, which is the same weasel she summons for Blade Dance. Kankuro summons a horse named Zeb Striker. Yes, that is a Pokemon. And yes, the summons will be basically Pokemon, but Naruto coded, so all the Pokemon moves become jutsu and whatnot. And Gaara summons a raccoon named Sidu. Since Sukaku is based off of Tanuki, and Tanuki is a raccoon, yeah, raccoon. And for the rest of the month, the quartet get familiar with Jiraiya, their signature summons, and the rest of the village. Familiar, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. And then it was time for the final stages of the tuning exams. Well, with that chapter out of the way, I think this is where I'm gonna end the video. Hope everyone, yeah, no, I'm kidding. The next round starts, and the first match is Naruto versus Neji. Neji is talking all this and all that about Destiny, and it's pressing Naruto 2D max, and when the round starts, he blitzes Neji and socks him straight in the jaw. Neji is thrown down to the ground, but he appears behind Naruto and seemingly gets off the 60-foot palm rotation. Naruto is knocked out, but his sand armor melts off and dashes around Neji and puts him in a sand coffin. Naruto then comes around and uses his Rasengan and slams it into Neji. Neji then slams into a wall and is barely conscious. But since Naruto wants to get him back for all that trash talking, he uses a water style water dragon jutsu. It's fitting I have to take water here. You'll see later. So he gets Neji back by using a water dragon jutsu. But you may be thinking, the water dragon jutsu, it isn't that bad, right? Yeah, if it comes from the opponent's talk or a body of water or whatever that. Naruto was so pressed about Neji's trash talking that he wanted to make sure that Neji never talks again, period. So Naruto uses a water dragon jutsu, but the water he's using is out of Neji's own body. So the water comes out of Neji's body, forms into a dragon, and slams it back into Neji, making an even deeper crater in the wall. But Naruto isn't done, since he has to get payback for Hinata. After the water is slammed into Neji, Naruto comes in front of him out of nowhere and slams a magnet-style, massive four-way Rasengan into Neji, which just blows a hole through the wall of the arena, which the people in the stands feel. Naruto is clearly declared the winner, maybe even a murderer, but he patches a hole in the sand. Well, then it's Shikamaru versus Tamari. Tamari just gets into Shikamaru's face and uses a wind-style great breakthrough straight into, well, his face. It was so fast and unexpected that he didn't get time to do anything. He was blown into a wall and barely got up. Tamari then uses her fan and traps him in chakra-absorbing gold dust. She walks up to him and says, "Do you give up yet, or do you want me to make this an even bigger drag?" mocking him. Shikamaru then substitutes and catches her in a saddle possessing jutsu. She's able to break through it since there isn't enough saddle for it to work correctly. The fight then goes as canon, but Tamari substitutes, giving what? The fight then goes as canon, but Tamari substitutes, gives Shikamaru his some respect right before he forfeits. Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, the way I worded this is so weird. So my substitutes give Shikamaru his some respect right before he forfeits. Why am I even making this channel? Anyway, back to the story. The fight then goes as canon, but Tamari gives Shikamaru his respect right before he forfeits. She gets pissed and tells him that the next time we fight, you better not give up just like that. And I won't only use a quarter of my power because you're cute. Got that? He gets flustered and just goes back up. As Tamari goes up, she gets teased by her brothers. Now, I didn't feel like rewriting Tamari versus Shikamaru. Since it was actually a pretty good fight. So I just made a BS excuse that Tamari was using a quarter of her power. So yeah, if Tamari was using anything but that, she would have won, trust me. Then it's Conqueror Assassino, which actually happens, since Conqueror doesn't automatically forfeit. Conqueror kicks. Sorry. Conqueror brings out his crow and has him charge at Sino. Sino substitutes with a bug clone and gets a decent distance away. Then it goes as canon, but when Sino thought he had won, the ground cracks and the puppet flies up into the air, startling Sino, who doesn't have energy to dodge. Sorry about that. Crow then goes for Sino, but he makes a wall of bugs which destroys the puppet. But Conqueror comes out of the puppet with the gold blade and strikes Sino down. He has Sino at the throat with his blade and tells him, "Give up. You did amazing with your own performance, but my performance and my art were just simply too strong for you." Sino does give up, and Conqueror offers him a hand, which he accepts. They trade antidotes for the poison they used on each other and go back up to the stands. And now it's time for Gaara vs Sasuke, and Sasuke is already there. And that fight, once again, goes his cannon, but Gaara doesn't overreact as much when he sees his blood. He is surprised, but not yelling, "Oh my gosh, my blood," surprised. He backs out of the sand dome he made and uses a very small scaled sand tsunami, which Sasuke tries to counter by using a massive fireball. That just turns Gaara's sand into glass, which is directed at Sasuke's direction, who has to dodge all the swords coming at him and successfully does so. Sasuke charges his hand with another Todori, and Gaara puts sand around his arm and they charge at each other. The attacks land as sand and electricity go everywhere. Then the feathers start falling. After the feathers had just begun, Sasuke and Gaara poof into smoke to reveal that the whole time they were clones. Then they appear on the stands, knocking out all the Sound Shinobi about to attack. They look up at every other beginning as they all nod and go into their positions. Inosuke go spread out throughout Inosuke, Shikamaru, and Toji spread out through the right side of the stands. Team 7, Sasuke, Sakura, and Sai, go on the left side. Team 8, Kiba, Sino, and Hinata on the center, with Lee and Tenten supporting them. The Jonin Sensei go throughout the village to help out where they can. Yasumaru and Wasa appear out of nowhere and land on the roof of Heroes, and the Konoha Crest had begun. And that is the end of Chapter 6. Chapter 7 will be coming out tomorrow. If I'm not lazy and if I just don't go right to sleep, but yeah, you should expect Chapter 7 to come out tomorrow. So hey, I guess there are perks of me having an inconsistent schedule. Yeah. If you're wondering what that noise was when I was like in the middle of me reading something, it was me hitting my forehead because I can't speak for the life of me. Probably why. Yeah, no. So yeah. Expect Chapter 7, Part 6. Yeah, Part 6 to come out tomorrow. Expect Part 5, I think. No, Part 4. Yeah, expect Part 4 of the Mr. Village What to come out later today. And yeah, I think that's it. Hope anyone watching this has a good day. Bye. Noob out. Mwah. Love ya.